Day 4 of my 31-day challenge. The question is, what would make you lose track of time? Everything. I'm 63. Everything. However, if we want to get personable about it, carrying on a conversation with somebody who's very dynamic, or perhaps someone who's well traveled, okay, and we're having a conversation, I could talk for hours. I love to hear things like that. I love to hear instances where people have, experienced new cultures or new events in their life, new experiences. I am interested. And I kind of like to say it this way. I like to live vicariously through your eyes. So, there's channels that I watch that there was one, Postiano Diaries. So yeah, I live vicariously through their eyes. They travel all around Italy. They bought a house in Tuscany. They bought, or they have a house in Postiano. So those type of things, like I could literally get lost in watching their videos over and over and over again. So if I'm watching something that's informative, if I'm watching something that the people are very dynamic, I could lose track of time. As I said, if I'm having a conversation with someone who has experienced new cultures or has traveled and we're talking about the experiences in their life or things that have happened, I could lose track of time. There's been so many instances where, I don't know, perhaps you have done it too, where you have sat and had a conversation with someone and been able to talk for 4 or 5 hours. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So I could lose track of time with that. There are other instances where I'm engrossed in something. Maybe I'm writing in my journal and I'm, thinking, oh, I'm just going to write a little blurb. And I end up like 10 pages later thinking, oops, I think that's a little bit too long for a journal, right? But it is what it is. It is what it is. So I get engrossed in my writing, in my reading, in talking to people and experiencing new culture, new customs, things like that. I love to talk to the people who have immigrated from another country, and I have many times talked to many of them. I've talked to people who were Egyptian. I've talked to people who were from Australia, and I find it so interesting to learn about those cultures. Think about it. 63. I'm not traveling too far at this point, okay? I'm not traveling the world. I don't have the coin for that. I did not win that 70 million. So yeah, I live vicariously through the things that I hear from other people. So those are a couple of the instances that I would literally say that I lose track of time. Yeah, so it is what it is. It comes with perhaps being 63, but I don't think I'm the only one. I think there are a lot of people like me out there who love to learn things from other people. We love to listen. We love to travel the world in our minds, if not our minds, with our ears, in our hearts. We hear from someone else who has traveled and they tell us, and it's like we're experiencing it firsthand. So, yeah, of course, I lose track of time when it comes to those things. So that's about the only things I can come up with. I mean, sure, you lose track of time when you're cooking, you're cleaning, you're organizing, but a really big one is the dynamic in conversations that you have. So I shall see you on day 5 of my challenge. So the good Lord be willing.